there's already like a no finger zone marked down here, right? So we're gonna keep our fingers way back here. And generally speaking, like away from this curve, right? Further away your fingers are from the blade, the better. Does anyone know why it's called a compound miter saw? Not because of the size. Oh, you got it?
That's because when you pull it down, it goes.
Not quite, get that?
It's a chop saw.
You can pull out. What does miter mean? Angle, right? And what about compound?
Tiny. Squished together.
Not so much tiny.
All in one.
If you have like a compound fracture. There's a lot of them, right? So our compound miter saw, you can get two angles at once. Right, so back here, I can turn this knob and I can change the angle to, what direction is that? The left. Or if I want to go to the right, I can pop this little yellow pin out and I can come to the right over here towards me. Right, so anytime you get an angle on here, if you need an angle for something, if you need a 15-degree angle, you turn it to that 15 and you lock it in place. And I'm going to show you actually two ways to get those angles. If you needed a double angle, if you needed double 15 for something, right, we have 15 up top. I can slide this, I should show you, this little button here unlocks it, because there's preset settings on this machine. Right, so if I needed two angles at 15 degrees, I needed like a little wedge. I could put it at 15, I'm gonna lock it in place. If I don't lock it in place, this can still move. Oh, actually 15 is one of the settings. So, all right, if I needed 19, this will still move. So I wanna make sure that when I get it into the angle that I need it, I push this handle down so that it locks in place. Right, and there are those preset settings, right, like 22.5, it'll automatically go to 22.5, and there's others along the way that'll automatically stop at. But even in those auto stops, I still lock this down because I never want this to move. I want that exact angle that I need. For the demonstration purposes, I'll just do 0 and I'll keep it at 15 for the fun of it. So when we cut on here, some key things, there's this little safety button on here. Basically, it's hard to see, but you'll feel it with your finger. Because when I squeeze this trigger, nothing happens. Right? But if I hit the safety button and then squeeze, it finally does happen. Right? If you're cutting something this small, it's okay to just kind of come down on it. If you're cutting anything bigger, if I was cutting this board over here, I would want to come out with the saw and then down and then back through. Right, so bigger stuff, you don't want to like start at the end and work your way back. You want to start way out here, bring it down, and then push it all the way back through to get the full cut. So then when we go to cut on here, right, I lean it against the fence. I also, whenever I do angles, I always double check and make sure that the blade isn't going to hit anything metal. If you get really steep angles, this hasn't happened to this one yet, but I've seen other carpenter saws who have like nicks all throughout these guards in the back because they forgot to double check and make sure that the blade isn't going to hit their fences in the back. So if you need a steep angle, just double check and make sure that's going to go all the way down without hitting anything. And so when we go to cut, right, the nice part about this saw is if I need to cut right here, right, I can mark this in the middle. And when I put the saw blade down, I can keep moving things around until it's perfectly in line with that mark. I can literally set the saw blade right on top of my mark and know it's gonna cut to that exact length that I need. So when I'm ready to cut, I make sure my fingers are in the no finger zone. I kind of do like a rock climbing pinch if you've ever been rock climbing on a little hold. I kind of push with my fingers and thumb against the fence and down against the base as well. So here's the cut. Okay, did you hear that ding at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, so that ding at the end, you'll notice there's the like random little scraps that get stuck in here. And sometimes they'll catch the blade and they'll make that ding, or sometimes they'll make a loud thud. So if you hear a loud thud, you haven't done anything wrong. It just means that one of these little scraps got flung into the base of here and just made a loud bang. Questions on this one?